Why can a man succeed at almost everything and at the same time fail to stick to a fitness plan? Perhaps you've experienced it and you've tried many times to follow a training routine or a diet, but it always ends up the same way. Today I want to show you that it was never you. It was not your discipline and it's not your character. The plans that most men follow are built for someone else's life. You will see why you keep quitting, why even the perfect plans are not working for most people, and how to build one that survives a real busy life. The fix is far easier than you might expect. I've not quit training for 6 years, but before that I was the biggest quitter you've ever met. Today I help men worldwide to overcome the same problem. Now subscribe before we start, because this video fixes the problem, but it's not the only one. In this channel I talk about all the challenges that men are facing in their fitness journeys. So if it is not discipline, what is it? Perhaps you're not lazy and you're not weak. In every part of life that matters, many of you show up and get the hard things done. So when it comes to your body, the problem is never discipline. It is something much simpler, and once you understand it, you'll never be able to unsee it. When deciding to get in shape, most of you start doing something new. For some it is training and they try to do it as hard as they can. For others it is a diet and they try to follow it strictly. For a lot of people it is not even a plan. It is just deciding to be better from Monday. And each one of these makes complete sense because it is exactly what we've been taught to do. So what is wrong with that? On its own, nothing. But the thing that actually changes the body is many things together. The training, the nutrition, the recovery, and how all of this fits your personal life. But what about the times you do everything required and you still can't lose weight? That then comes down to the kind of plan that you reach for. It's always the one that guarantees results if followed strictly. But then there is a study that shows exactly why this is the wrong bet. A team of researchers in Boston took 160 people, put them on 4 completely different diets, and followed them for a full year. When it was over, which person a diet was on barely made a difference. The one thing that predicted who actually lost the weight was whether they could stick to it, not how hard or efficient the diet is. And men almost never choose the plan that they actually can stick to, but rather they go to what they think is the best. Even the perfect plan fails apart for most of you, and that has nothing to do with the plan. So what is actually going on? Usually it all starts with a single decision that people make when life becomes too demanding, not long after committing to make the change. It could be a fire to put out at work, in family, or just a holiday. The decision on its own is simply to miss a training session or do something else against the plan. And that is the moment where everything turns, and not for the reason you might think. In that moment, most people decide that missing means failing. And maybe without even realizing it, they believe that the whole thing is ruined. And that is the limiting belief that leads to quitting. But this is not a weakness or a lack of character. It is one of the most studied patterns in all of human behavior. In 1975, researchers took people who were dieting and people who were not. You would expect the ones who just drink a milkshake to eat less. The people who were not dieting did exactly that. After the milkshake, they ate about 2/3 more ice cream, not less. The reason was that the moment they had broken the diet, they stopped holding back at all. So the slip was never the problem. It was the belief that the slip has ruined everything. I made a free course that shows you how to get in real shape in a way that fits your life and is sustainable throughout the worst weeks. And the link is right below. It could save you years of failed attempts. But maybe your question right now is, isn't that just the truth? That a missed day means we're falling off the plan? And the answer is no. The belief is the single thing that does the most harm. It is part of the process. And it happens to everyone who's ever gotten into elite physique. Those of you who end up lean and strong are not the ones who never miss sessions or meals. They are the ones who do, but then continue as if nothing happened. Now that is actually the hard part for many of you, but there is an easy way to do it. So the real question is, how can we start a fitness program and go through it regardless of all the personal challenges in our life? And the solution is what I call the lowest hanging fruit. It means to do one thing that gives you the most results for the least amount of effort. You get good at it first by giving yourself at least 1 week, and then start the second thing only when you're ready. Or the way I like to say it, you must learn to walk before you start running. So what does that look like in real life? Let's say the plan is to train 4 days per week. You start with short workouts or with less than 4 workouts, something you can follow even on your worst weeks. When it comes to the diet, you can stop eating the highly processed foods or start having a protein-rich breakfast. If you want to do 10,000 steps, but you're currently at 3,000 per day, then don't jump straight to 10,000. but set the goal high enough to make a difference and get used to it. I like to start with 7,000 to 8,000 steps. So now you're shifting your thinking from trying to follow a plan that guarantees you results if you follow it strictly to building healthy habits one at a time. The latter always comes with the understanding that missed days are not failure, but they're just a part of the journey. And now I'm sure some of you are thinking about your schedule and how it's all impossible because you're just too busy and overwhelmed to think about fitness in such a systematic way. But let me tell you why you truly don't need more time and more energy. The right habit will not cost you anything, but it will rather give you back more enthusiasm and energy, which will surely make you more focused and disciplined, not just in fitness, but also at work. You will make the time when needed because it's worth it, and not just because you have to. Doing just one change per month is 12 changes per year, and it will absolutely transform you and your life. That's exactly how normal men with a busy life can still end up in the best shape of their life, even at the age of 50. And what's so powerful about personal transformations like this is that it's not just about fitness, but it will change the way you think about yourself. Once you start stacking habits and you experience the change that felt impossible before, it will inspire you so much. And everyone around you will see how energetic and strong you're becoming. So now stop trying to fix everything and instead trust this process. Find the one change that gives you the most and costs you the least. And if you want me to support you personally in this journey, you can apply to work with me directly through a link below in the description. Thanks for your support and see you in the next video.